Meuser of Pennsylvania for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Meeks. Thank you, Ranking Member McCall. Thank you, Deputy Secretary, and all of you for appearing here today. So in April, Russian military equipment was left on Ukraine's border following military exercises, April of 21. In May, President Biden waived sanctions on the Nord Stream 2. Arguably, there are now more sanctions on domestic energy production than there is on Russian energy production. In September, after our disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, Russia conducted military exercises and left troops and additional equipment behind on the Ukraine border. Russia continued to amass troops on Ukraine's border through the fall, and 7 days ago, a full invasion of Ukraine began with only the courage of the Ukrainian people keeping Russia from reaching all of its military objectives in short order. On Friday, State Department spokesman Ned Price admitted that it was clear Putin had used diplomacy to buy time for an invasion Putin had intended to carry out all along. The Biden administration said it would unleash crippling sanctions if just one Russian unit or one Russian tank crossed the border of Ukraine. Even after Russian troops began to execute Putin's February 21st order to send Russian troops into the separatist republics in the Donbass, it took nearly a week before the administration imposed strong enough sanctions to begin to have a real impact on the Russian economy and the ruble. Deputy Secretary Sherman, can you explain this delay that you had months to prepare sanctions with our allies and partners?
Actually, I think you've answered your own question, Congressman. It takes time to get allies and partners to work with us on very highly technical issues to make sure that sanctions can go forward. There was a great deal of preparation to be ready to both try to deter Putin and then to impose severe consequences on him. And many, you and other colleagues, have raised the issues of oil and of NS2. On NS2, as I said before, the pipeline was 95% completed under the last administration. Under President Biden, it is now dead and bankrupt. On oil, the president's working to release 60 million barrels of reserves. Oil and gas production are at an all-time high by later this year. LNG exports are at historic highs. Under this administration, storage facilities are at capacity. The narrative that this administration is doing nothing to free up resources is just not true.
I didn't say that. I said during the build-up. I'm reclaiming my time, please.
Yep.
So I did read the classified offer that was sent to Russia on January 26th, I believe. It was startlingly weak. I don't think it had any chance of making any difference whatsoever to Russia. Why was this even sent? Was it actually intended to get a reaction where Putin would say, "Okay, I give. Let's have a talk about this"?
Are you describing the non-paper that we sent in response to Russia's non-paper to us?
I'm just describing the classified document that I read and was sent and was not made public, probably because it was just so awfully weak and had no intention of
Well, if it's a
actually
classified document,
anything.
then I'm not going to discuss it here.
I'm not discussing it either, Madam Secretary.
Well, I don't think it was weak. If we're talking about the same document, I think it provided Russia with an off-ramp to its ridiculous demands that, in fact, NATO returned to 1997, so that current members of NATO had to leave, which we certainly weren't going to agree to, that Ukraine would not be able to join NATO if NATO decided it could. We could not agree to those things, but we did offer them things that were in their security interest should they have wanted to take it
Deputy Secretary, we're all in this together. I don't want to have to make you sit there and rationalize how we got to this point and the irrational delays that took place. I do have one question. One last question. The Ukrainian Parliament sent us a letter to Congress. I'm not sure if you have it, but I'll gladly give you a copy. That they were very specific in what they needed. Those on the front lines in Kyiv, people we should listen to, from anti-tank guided weapons to stingers to small arms, grenade launchers, not big stuff, not asking for air cover, all kinds of communication. Mainly military portable radio sets and body armor and helmets. Does the administration have this, and is this planning to be expedited to Ukrainians in the field fighting the Russians?
As I said, this year alone, we have provided $1 billion in security assistance. I won't go through them item by item because some of them should be discussed in a classified setting. but we have provided a whole range of those items to the Ukrainians already and are continuing to do so, including through third-party transfers.
Thank you. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.